Gang, today was supposed to be a happy day. We hit 200 subs. We had this in-depth M82 video coming out, but Raven decided there was to be no celebrating. If you don't know, the M82 was adjusted in this most recent update, Season 3 Reloaded. It started out positive, increased the bullet velocity, awesome. They increased the multiplier, damage multiplier for the extremities, great. But then they decreased the fire rate, 0.33 to 0.83. What does that mean? I don't know, but it was almost a factor of 3, and definitely it was a huge difference. It feels like half the fire rate. I went on Reddit to vent. People were like, well, it's not gonna affect the long range too much, which I admit it seemed fine for long range. Didn't seem to would affect the long range. The mid range, the DMR capabilities, pretty much done. But I still held out hope that I would be able to find a way to make it work, maybe pair it with a more capable sniper support weapon. So I started some testing today, and I found something far more concerning, far more damaging than even the fire rate, and that's that the M82, the sway, the recentering, the recoil is completely different. Now it's like random. There's no consistency. Any hope of us trying to maximize the fire rate that it had seems to be gone. We're talking like kind of like the M60 horizontal bounce. You have no clue where it's gone. You'll see as we get into testing. As I said at the start, on a brighter note, we did hit 200 subs. Huge thanks to you all for the support. We are on the drive to 300 subs now, so please consider subscribing. All right, let's take a look at what I found. So this is just standard idle sway. On the left is the Pelington, on the right is the M82. And you can see that the Pelington kind of stays within this yellow mark here. The M82 is flying everywhere. And this wasn't the case before. Now, I don't have video of before, but just I can tell you from experience that it never had. You can kind of see this is a pre-nerf video, and I was doing some recoil testing, and the idle sway was never that drastic. So here we're gonna see kind of the old recoil pattern. Obviously the old fire rate, which was incredible. And you can see a bunch of different plots. The tallest ones were the Tiger team, had the highest fire rate. It's shortened by not using the Tiger team, because the slower you fire, the more time the kick settles. And then the smaller ones were using a bipod. So obviously I was like, well, we should use a bipod. But the important thing to note here is that for the most part, all the bullets are evenly distributed in a line. Now that first shot after the second shot, basically, sometimes does kick left, sometimes it's more to the right. And you'll see with the recentering, that first recentering is the largest and the most random for every sniper rifle. Doesn't change. There's no sniper rifle that has really good first recentering. It's always kind of random, or at least in the same direction, but like magnitude is random. The subsequent shots all follow a very similar, consistent pattern, and that's the case here with the pre-nerf M82. Now this is post-nerf. Obviously the fire rate's going to be a lot slower, but notice where it goes. It starts to bounce right, come back, come right, left, randomly switching sides. And that is the main problem, is that now we have this introduction of random left to right kicking. Before it was like straight up right, straight up and to the right, and very little variation. Now we've got this random left right, and you'll see even more when we're looking at the recentering. Okay, so this is where I'm testing the recentering. I shoot it, I let it come back to where I was aiming, then I shoot the next shot. Doesn't matter, I tested wrap suppressor shroud, bipod, no bipod, SOF, no SOF, airborne elastics, you name it. I tried to add aim stability, idle sway improvement. It doesn't change the randomness. Now it might change magnitude, but honestly it's just impossible to tell. Take a look. Boom, first shot, huge time to recenter. Second shot, to the right, then left, left somewhere. Now this is with the 7-round meta that I use. That's the wrap suppressor, combat recon, bipod, 4x, and fat speed mag. All right, so the first shot's already gone, and you're gonna see it takes a really long time to come back. Second shot to the left and like down left, up right, then down. It's like going insane. It's going, there's no pattern here to the recentering, to the kicking. This is with the shroud, which supposed to help with idle sway. Now, all these shots are done using the steady aim. So you would think that idle sway shouldn't make too much of a difference, but even so, it seems to kick wherever it wants to go. The Pelington, just like a standard Pelington, no bipod actually, and you're gonna see it's consistent. First shot, yeah, big recoil. Now it just starts going bottom right, bottom right, bottom right, bottom right. Keeps going same place. And that's how the M82 was, except it was up and right. But it's not now. This is a Pelington with an SOF. Down and right, down and right. Consistent direction and magnitude other than that first shot. The Swiss, so that first shot you saw was a big jump, but then after that, same back and forth. Big kick. Comes back slowly, but then it's the same. Down and to the left, down and to the left, down to the left. And that's what you see. You see that after the first shot, there's a big kick that's typically in the same direction as the rest of the shots are going to be, except for the M82. And then the rest of the shots are the same. ZRG, same thing. Big kick, comes back. Second shot, much quicker. I don't have the attachments unlocked, so I only have 3 rounds. But you can see big kick, and then it settles. Second one's much. Kar98 has great recentering, and I think that's part of why people love it. It's easy to get shots quickly, and it just comes back to where you know. This is the meta car, has the precision comb. Super consistent, comes back, heads in the same direction. Now the SPR, Tundra, AX50, HDR, they do not recenter. So, and that's okay for super long range snipers. If you're going for a huge distance, you have the time to adjust your aim after. It's not a huge deal. But for any type of mid-range sniper, you want it to recenter in a at least consistent fashion so that you can predictably adjust for the recoil. Otherwise, every time you can't micro adjust on the fly that quickly and be consistent. All right, so this is kind of like a real world situation, pre-nerf, and you're gonna see, and I'm gonna do in slow-mo, the consistent recoil pattern that it had before it got nerfed. Up and to the right, up and to the right, up and to the right. And this is a fast, pretty Not full fire rate, but pretty good fire rate. Nothing that we can do now because they nerfed the fire rate. This is in slow-mo, half speed. And you just see, yeah, up and to the right, comes back, up and to the right, comes back. And you can just consistently hit your shot. This is what we got right now. And this is not like going full fire rate. This is kind of just like trying to control it, find like a rhythm. Kicks left. Then I'm like, oh god. And then you can see it's just all over the place. There's no pattern. This is with different combinations, shroud, meta, it doesn't matter. On occasion it'll look great, it'll look good, and then you have something like that, like it kicked and it like took forever to come back, and it's just bouncing all over the place. So this time it kind of looks good, you're like, oh okay, but then you don't know what you're gonna get. Here's the Pelington. Consistent, and you can almost see that you can't fire the M82 much faster, or it's basically the same rate as the Pelington, even though this is just going as fast as possible with the Pelington, because the recentering is just so random. This is a pre-nerf in-game situation where it's more close range. I want to show a close range situation. And this guy just hopping like this, and eventually I just time it up. He hits himself with my bullet, but you can see up and to the right, up and to right, like there's like a rhythm. And this is right now. Now I would say I didn't really try to control too hard here. I would say probably not at all, just to show you what you're gonna have to face when trying to catch a rhythm with the shots. That time it was better, but then random left kick, and then it stays wide right, and you can't find a decent rhythm. So that's what I discovered, is that not only did they nerf the fire rate, they nerfed the sway, they nerfed the recentering, the recoil of the M82. I don't know if it was done on purpose. I don't know if it was done by accident, but in its current state, it is extremely hard to use this gun. Impossible? No. It's still something, it still has great bullet drop. And like any sniper is good for the first shot, right? You aim, you hit your shot. It's those follow-up shots. And as constituted, this M82 cannot predictably maximize the fire rate that it has at the moment. And as you saw, I think I'd frankly just using a Pelington. On top of that, today, which I'm recording on Friday, they got rid of the no glint. The 4X and the SUSAT on sniper rifles have glint now. I know some of you are like applauding, huge dub. For me, I greatly enjoyed sniping in a very stealth manner. So basically, the gun that I loved, a no glint DMR sniper rifle hybrid, amazing fire rate, all these things were wiped out in 2 days. I don't know if they're ever going to change it back, and so we may be putting up a tribute video shortly. But for now, I hope someone sees this. I hope some big YouTuber sees this, makes a video, gives me a shout out. People see this video, talk about it on Reddit, and Raven does something about it and fix this gun. Because as is, I don't know what the intention was. The personality, the character that it had, that the few of us that used it loved, it is gone. And anyone trying to use it as a longer range semi-auto gun sniper rifle, I think is going to be a bit disappointed, because you're going to have a hard time getting the most out of that fire rate. So it is what it is. Right now I'm just back on the Bruin. All right guys, well, I hope you enjoyed it. It was fun kind of discovering this. Hopefully maybe they'll make a change, who knows, I don't know. But hope you enjoyed the video. If you're new, Please subscribe if you like the content, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.